Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New Zealand vlog. Look at that view, check that out. We've been here but 15 minutes and we're already seeing these types of things. Quite ridiculous. In fact, we just climbed up here and you might be wondering, how did we even get here, right? We're in New Zealand. If you were able to join us last summer, you know that we were in Isle Royale in the United States of America. So, how did we get here? Perhaps this brief flashback will answer that question. For three of us, the journey began on the evening of July 3rd, 2023 in Chicago. We had about 20 hours of flying between us and our final destination, which was Christchurch, New Zealand. Our first flight was to San Francisco. Not too bad to start with. The plane even had some little monitors to keep us busy during the 4-ish hour long flight. Once we were in California, we had a brief encounter with the San Francisco police, since apparently I matched the description of a large man with a man bun. Yes, that's a true story, by the way. But anyways, after that was cleared up, we grabbed some food to fill up before our longest flight, which was about 13 hours on the way to Auckland in New Zealand. It was pretty nice inside this one. Everyone on the plane got a pair of earbuds, tiny little pillow, and even a blanket to help us sleep. We got some food too, but honestly we were just interested in sleeping through as much of this flight as possible. Before we knew it, we were officially in New Zealand. There were a few small things that helped us recognize a different country, like this green line that everyone was following on the left instead of the right, but a few old friends kept things feeling familiar to us Americans. One more quick flight later, we were greeted by our hosts and made our way to home base in Christchurch. So yeah, now we're here, right? Because we just saw it, right? Okay. So now we're here, and I'm joined, oh my gosh, it is so bright. I'm joined by Mallory, Kimmy, Zach, and Tyler. We'll be here for about 8 days. Today is day 1, July 5th, yeah? 2023.
It'll be 9 days.
5th of July, as they say.
The 5th of July, okay. 5th of July, we're in Christchurch right now, and yeah, we'll be kind of adventuring, I don't know, all over New Zealand, right? Yeah. For a few days, several days.
Just the South Island.
South Island. We're up here, what's the name of this place? Is there a name for this place?
We're in the Port Hills. This is Red Rock Cafe here.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be hanging out here for a bit, kind of just warming up today, before we start heading out tomorrow, going further southwest, and yeah, I think that'll be it for now. So see ya as the journey continues. Enjoy the footage. Now is probably a good time to mention the biggest difference we felt between New Zealand and America, which was the fact that it was winter in July. So despite all the beaches you'll see in this video, like this one, which is called Taylor's Mistake, it was far from beach weather while we were here. Also, I like the sound of water on the beach, so here you go. While it wasn't super cold here in New Zealand's winter, we quickly became acquainted with this trip's antagonist. Yeah, this son of a gun starts to go down around 5 o'clock, so no major outdoor activities could really happen after that time. Indoor stuff wasn't much different. Some places stay open a little bit past sunset, but generally places close earlier than we were used to, as you can kind of see in this mall a little bit. It definitely wasn't all negatives though. We were able to take advantage of exchange rates everywhere we went to buy things for cheaper than we could in America. For example, the sacred Pepto-Bismol Squishmallow combo was bought at about half the price we'd expect at home. We ended the day with some fish and chips for a quick dinner, and then we headed to bed for our first night in New Zealand. Day 2, July 6th, 2023. We are at Fairleigh Bakehouse. Remember, this is before we ate, right? This is a reshoot.
I'm so hungry.
So,
Seriously?
No.
It's a reshoot.
Oh, I was like,
start of the day, yeah, we've been driving for a while and we just got here, right guys? And stopping for some food. We are on our way to Lake Tekapo, but doing a lot of driving today, and I mean most days, so you'll see some footage of that too. And there's gonna be some beautiful views. We've already seen some pretty cool stuff, so I think it'll get even better as we get closer. But yeah, we'll see you when we get closer to where we are hiking a little bit further later today. And yeah, see what we find. You're gonna get used to seeing clips like this at the start of each day, because there are a ton of cafes all over New Zealand, and a lot of them have these meat pies, which are filled with things like chicken or beef rather than desserty things like we might be used to. Another really good time to take advantage of currency differences, because some of these pies were so good. Okay. Coming up here is one of the blue lakes we came across on our way to the Tasman Glacier. By the way, yeah, they're called blue lakes despite being mostly green. These were mostly frozen, but that allows you to do this with some of the gravel nearby. Ready? What would you call this place?
This is White Horse Hill.
This is White what?
White Horse Hill.
All right. We're in White Horse Hill, starting our first semi-major hike. We're going for about an hour to semi-major. We're going to Hooker Hut, so Mallory and Tyler.
See who we find there.
Yeah, we'll see who's at Hooker Hut. Mallory and Tyler will be joining them. And then me and Kimmy and Zach are going to be finding a place to camp close by. Yeah, in the tent. So we're expecting it to get pretty cold. It's about almost 3 o'clock now, but already the sun is setting and we're losing sunlight. So we should get there before it's super dark, and then we'll set things up and see what happens at Hooker Hut. We had a slightly hard time finding the path to Hooker Hut since we missed the spot where we were supposed to go off trail initially. And as you can see here, the ground is mostly covered in ice, which didn't really help either. Alright, we have the tent set up. We are, there's Hooker Hut. We're set up, got a pretty nice view behind us as well. Not quite done for the day, we just set up camp for now, but we're gonna head out. Let's get to one more lookout point, and then we'll head back here, probably wrap things up for the night, eat a little bit. By the way, peep the hat. New Zealand hat, courtesy of Kimmy and Zach. So yeah, see you at the lookout.
You have to make the blow a little more dramatic.
All right. Yeah, get in here. Oh, wow. Thank you. All right, we're in the tent. I think I already said that we were camping in here.
0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, Mallory and Tyler are inside. It's not too bad in here. It's not windy, but it is a little bit chilly. We got some heat sacks to help keep us warm.
Hotties for those kiwis out there.
Hotties. They're made of water. Yeah, so we're heading to bed. Hopefully it won't be too bad in here. And we'll see you in the morning. All right, day 3, July 7th. We are saying goodbye to Hooker Hut. Well, we weren't really in Hooker Hut. We were sleeping in the tent and we made it.
Stayed warm in Hooker Hut.
Yeah. It was probably about freezing because the water supply here froze over. But we made it. It was fine. We're pretty cold right now, but we'll warm up as we keep going here. We're heading out of here and going to a cafe, and then doing some more driving after that. So
our tent was in a pretty cool spot. We took some pictures that you can see now.
Yes, thank you, Zach. Here's our tent and Hooker Hut as the sun was rising, and a few more pictures of Mount Cook too. We also had some photos of the stars from the night before, but the camera makes things look extra purple. It didn't really look like this in real life. It was still the clearest night sky I've ever seen, just because it was so dark at the bottom of the mountain. So yeah, we're heading to the cafe. See you there.
Oh! Yeah.
We came across this memorial near the end of our walk out. It's for people who have died on or around the mountain. The rocks are stacked all around here to pay respects. Wanaka was one of the more touristy areas we visited, for good reason. This tree here is especially famous though, known as #ThatWanakaTree. Of course, gotta take a quick selfie before you go. This one?
This is the one.
Okay. Here we go. Nice. Nice. Just let the words flow, you know. We're at the hotel. What a freaking beaut. Mallory can't even keep it together. It's so crazy out here. Yeah, we'll be staying here tonight. Do you want me to take you out of the frame? Pull yourself together.
Unless we are the bloopers.
No, this is in the main reel.
Aw.
You're in it to win it. We're staying here tonight, and yeah, we're not really done for the day. We just put our stuff down here. It's about 3 o'clock. Sun's already getting pretty low, as per usual. But we're hoping to head out one more time, check out the lake again. And then, yeah, we'll come back here to sleep, and after last night, should be a heck of a great time. See you later. Gotta give a shout out to this place. This is one of the Patagonia ice cream shops we encountered. The man serving us here was extremely nice, even though we came right as the place was closing. The ice cream was pretty good too, especially for, well, maybe you can guess. And just like that, day 3 is coming to a close, as it is bedtime. We're waking up early-ish. I mean, about 12 hours from now, haha. Because we're going to bed at 8 o'clock anyways to see the sunrise. See you then. Day 4, July 8th, as promised, the sunrise. Coming up on the left here is Queenstown. Now this place is truly poppin', by far the most touristy area we went to. And for good reason. There are a ton of places to shop, things to eat, and we even heard a few street performers, which you'll hear in a bit. We were on our way to a gondola ride when we ran into this place, which was offering free indoor skydiving to anyone who could get 3 bags in a row into the hole. It didn't hurt to try, especially for us Midwesterners, so we all gave it a shot. And then this happened.
Free game if you guys want to play.
Beanbags are super light too.
It's a free game if you guys
That's not a very good goal. I'm going to be honest. You want 1, you want 2.
Yes! Oh!
Needless to say, we did not ride the gondola today. There was still some driving to be done though, so we started to make our way out of Queenstown. We had an Airbnb to stay in Te Anau, which was really nice. We would stay here for the next 2 nights, so we all settled into our temporary home, got some food, and ended the night with a very opportune movie. Day 5, July 9th, to Milford Sound we go. The path to Milford Sound was pretty interesting. You can see that there's a much more jungly vibe here, the type of place where you feel like you might get jumped by like a velociraptor or something. We were here for a boat tour of the fjord, which we would find a little bit deeper into the jungle. Other than the waterfalls, it's possible to see a lot of different animals around here. The most common are seals and dolphins. You can see a seal pass by right here, and eventually we caught it popping up out of the water for air. Our boat eventually made it here to this underwater observatory, a good place to see a lot of different fish and other sea creatures. We did mainly see fish, but you'll also see a few starfish, sea cucumbers, and sea bunnies in some of the videos here. Another shout out to Maddie, who was kind of like the tour guide down here. He's super knowledgeable about everything, and it was fun to listen to all the facts he had to share about everything we saw.
Okay, we're both tired. We can look like.
Did you grab your water?
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's in the car. Don't forget your white hat right
Day
here.
6, July 10th. Long car ride today to Fox Glacier we go.
Come on.
Our main goal for today was getting to the Fox Glacier area with a little bit of sunlight to spare. We had around 6 hours to drive, which gave us a little bit of leeway to stop at a few points to check out some streams and waterfalls, things like that along the way. The water at this first stop here was nice and clear, also very turquoisey as you can see, and another visitor convinced us that it was worth stepping in to get closer to the nearby waterfall, so me and Kimmy stepped in. Let's just say we didn't make it very far. Turns out water is pretty cold in the winter. And here's what happens when you're stuck in the car for 6 hours. Some things you just never forget. By the time we arrived to the Fox Glacier area, it was later than we would have liked. We were still determined to get to Reflection Island for a nice mountain reflection view, but the sun was not on our side.
Alright, here we are, me and Daniel. We made it all the way out here. It was a short, like 5-minute hike, which actually was about 30 minutes, maybe 25, 30. As you can see, pretty epic view, pretty epic reflection. We've heard a bunch of geese flying off, which is pretty sweet. So they keep ruining the water. Thank you. And the clouds are in a pretty epic spot right now, which you can see. So overall, pretty epic end to the night, but here we have it.
Here's what the camera was able to pick up in the darkness, a little bit better than the video. After this, we walked 30 minutes back out in the darkness, then headed to the motel we'd be staying in for the night. We were lucky to find a place for food that was still open this late. After this, it was just time for bed.
We are here at Gillespie's Beach, day 7 maybe?
7.
That sounds right.
July 11.
July 11.
7-11.
That sounds good. Never forget 7-11, but alright. This is our last day of road tripping. I think we're all kind of ready for it to be done. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. But we're hanging out around here for a little while before we eventually head back to Christchurch. So enjoy the beach. With the sun back up, it was time to redo our little hike from yesterday. Things were looking a lot better in the daylight, and the sky even cleared up for us to see the mountains nicely in the distance, so you'll be able to see some pretty impressive views coming up shortly here. This is the sort of canonical view from Reflection Island. A few geese here were making ripples in the water, but I mean, you can't really complain about a view like this. This place is also deserving of a name drop. This is Hokitika Sandwich Company. And I don't know what they do to their sandwiches, but these things were, oh my god, these things were magical. Sources tell me that a certain scene from the Chronicles of Narnia was filmed around here, if anyone remembers those movies. Turns out New Zealand is also the place where some parts of the Lord of the Rings movies were filmed. Pretty cool. After enjoying the view here, we finished our road trip back to Christchurch and ended the night with our classic dinner and a show. The sun rises on another day in Christchurch. Day 8, July 12th. What a day it is to be alive. Back in Christchurch, we started to check out some of the local activities. Our first was the Botanical Gardens. They had a lot of huge trees here, among some of the other things you might expect at a place like this. We also visited the old university in Canterbury. This was pretty interesting. The buildings here aren't used for school anymore. Instead, a few have been converted into small tourist locations, almost like a museum in some spots. There's quite a lot of attention given to Ernest Rutherford here. Apparently he studied here for some time, so an entire building was pretty much dedicated to his stuff. Afterwards, we headed deeper into the city of Christchurch. We were aiming for the Riverside Market, aka time for more food. Later, we went back to the mall from day one. Some of us were wanting to buy New Zealand exclusive snacks to bring back home. Let's just say that these two had the time of their lives at the grocery store. At the end of the day, we were playing this Sherlock Holmes game that didn't make it in Kimmy and Zach's initial luggage haul down here. Well, by we, I mean 3 of us. After that, we just had to hit up a McDonald's and check out their slightly altered New Zealand menu. Personally, I went for the double Big Mac, which had 4 patties instead of the usual 2 like in America. Another movie and time for bed. Day 9, July 13th. Oh yeah. Dawn of the final day. 7 hours remain. We didn't have a ton to do on our last day, really just tying up some loose ends. We also checked out the Modern University. This was at the end of the students' winter break, so you'll see it's not very busy, but we were still able to walk into all the buildings. And just like that, our trip had come to a close. One more board game, then we packed our things and headed to the airport. So long, Kimmy and Zach. So long, New Zealand.